Good morning. Welcome to reading. We thought we'd switch it up a little bit, and you have Mrs. Dixon for a teacher for reading. We're going to go off of our normal reading that we use, and we are going to read a story together. And so for reading each day, you're going to need the following. You will need your folder labeled Because of Winn-Dixie. You will need your book that says Because of Winn-Dixie. You'll need a piece of paper that you can keep in the front of your folder each day, and you will need a pencil. So would you please pause this video and go get those supplies and make sure you have them every day when we sit down to do our reading program. I'll wait for you. All right, welcome back. So I am excited about this story. Kate DiCamillo is an awesome author and has written several books. You probably have seen some of them or read some of the other books, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I want you to do first is open up your folder and turn to page 38. Don't worry, we're not going to do every single page in here. Just gave me some options and I gave them to you so I could pick and choose. All right. Page 38, it says, before reading, your page should look like this. All right, we're going to actually get started on this first, and we're going to start filling it out. So the title of the book, you should know that, but it says Because of Winn-Dixie. Would you write that down with me right now? Okay, and the next thing you need to do is put the author down, which is Kate DiCamillo. All right, the next question asks, have you read anything by this author before? If so, what it was. So I had to look up because I didn't know how many different books that she has read or written. So I saw one was The Tale of Despereaux. But another one was A Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. But then she also wrote the Mercy Watson series with the pigs. She did Flora and Ulysses. Okay, so that's some of the books. Did you read any of those? If you did, go ahead and write it down. If not, just put no. So all of these lines don't overwhelm you. Don't worry. You do not have to write incomplete sentences. I give you permission. So I want you to enjoy the story, but follow along and fill things out as we go. But like I said, you don't have to do complete sentences. So first thing I want you to do is look at the front cover of your book. Now your book looks different than mine. Your book is a newer reprint of the cover. I don't know if you've noticed sometimes when you come to take a reading test, that the picture that's on the screen is different than the picture on the book you read. And what they do is they take a book that was written several years ago and they put a different picture on the front and then they put it out. And a lot of times it's because the pictures look older or outdated. Maybe some of you have seen the Nancy Drew books. The older books or they're not as exciting to look at. And so what they are doing now with those books, because the stories are timeless and they're good. Mrs. Brogdon just made a face at me. Anyway, the books are really, the stories are good, but the pictures aren't something that you would want to look at. Look, for example, look at my picture. It's a lot different than yours. Yours has a picture of a dog on it. But this is probably a little bit more accurate setting of what it was like back then. Because a lot of people did live in the campers or a trailer. And, you know, you see the dirt road. We don't usually see many of those anymore. Most roads have been paved. But it was back in a time where the setting this would fit and give you more of an idea when you're thinking about what it was like. But yours is different. So it says to look at the front cover and what hints do you think it gives about the story? So you're just going to look at the front cover and what does it tell you? Short words, sentence, not full complete sentences, but enough to describe it. And after you finish that, then you're going to go to your back cover and read it. I don't know if your back cover is the same as mine because I don't have the same book. This one says, I'll read you mine. It says, when 10-year-old India Opal Bologna moves to Naomi, Florida with her father, she doesn't know what to expect, least of all that she'll adopt Winn-Dixie, a dog she names after the supermarket where they meet. With such an unusual, friendly dog at her side, Opal soon finds herself making more than a few unusual friends. And soon, Opal and her father realize, with a little help from Winn-Dixie, of course, that while they've both tasted a bit of melancholy in their lives, they still have a whole lot to be thankful for. So if yours says the same thing, you could go ahead and work on this. If yours is different, read it. I want you to work through this page. It says based on the last one, based on the front and back covers, do you want to read this book? Why or why not? I want you to be honest with this question. Not because you like or dislike reading, but from what you read and what you see. Do you want to read this story? I want you to pause the video. I want you to fill this page out, because if you start reading the story and come back and fill it out, you're going to have different information. So put it on pause, fill out this page, and come back and join me as soon as you're finished. All right. So for part of your work today, you are going to go and read chapter 1. The chapters are short. Right now we're starting with one chapter at a time. So when you finish reading that, I need you to go back into your notebook to page, not 9, to page 5. Go ahead and turn to page 5 in your notebook so you can see what I want you to do. All right, at the top of the page it says match up. It has some vocabulary words. So what I want you to do as part of your work today is match up the definitions to the words. Go ahead and look and see if you can figure them out. If you can't, use a dictionary. Yes, you can use your phone or iPad or whatever to look up the words to find the right definition. But it's always interesting to try. At least try doing it with a light pencil line so you can see if you got them correct. That way it would be easy to erase if you got it wrong. But if you figure out the ones that you know, look at how many nice vocabulary words you already know. All right, so that's what I want you to do for today. So what you're going to do is you're going to read, make sure you finish page 38. You're going to read chapter 1, and then you're going to fill out the top part of page 5. So I'm going to hold the assignment up so that when you pause it, you can copy this information. Keep it on that piece of notebook paper that I asked you to get, and just put it into the front of your notebook, and you can add to it each day. If you need more, just grab you another piece of notebook paper. You guys enjoy this story. It is so good. I had a hard time stopping. And I know the story, but it is well written and easy to read. I also want to say this. If you're struggling with a story and it's really hard for you to read and comprehend, why don't you work with a parent or someone that's older that can help you read? Maybe you read a chapter and they read a chapter. If they read the whole thing to you, you're not making yourself a stronger reader. Remember what our purpose is for reading, and all the practice is helping us so that we can be prepared for middle school and high school and life in general. And the only person that can make you better at reading is, that's right, you. You're the only person. We talk about that all the time in library. So here's your assignment. Make sure that you finish page 38 first, read chapter 1, and then go to page 5 and match up the definitions. You have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.